Alright, so for this video, pretty much I'm going to be talking about the ongoing event that's currently happening on the PS4, and it's called Day of the Dungeon Master. Pretty much where we ended up getting two campaigns. Now the first one is the Dungeon Master Respins game. It's really not that important. It's all about beverages, and then you get to cast your vote. It shouldn't really take you that long. I completed this entire campaign in less than an hour, so I'm not really gonna be talking about it in this video, but I did end up mentioning it because I was gonna say that I was gonna try to cover everything from this event, but that's not really going to be possible because we're still in week 1 and we haven't really unlocked all the dungeons for all the queues for this event, but I'm gonna try to do my best to explain to you guys. Now this is a campaign that I'm actually gonna be focusing on this video, and I'm just gonna advise you guys on how to get everything. Now pretty much we're gonna have to collect a total of 400 adventuring accreditations, as you guys can see here. Now for every 100 accreditations that we get, we're gonna end up, we're gonna end up unlocking these tiers right here: sub intern, intern, grand intern, and sub employee. I don't know, sub-employee, I just think that's hilarious, but whatever. And as you guys can see, we're actually going to have a requirement of blank report cards. Now, in order to highlight Dination, we're actually going to have to go into sub-intern, and then you're going to want to press right on your joystick or on your D-pad. That's the only way you could highlight it. You can't really do it when you highlight the other boxes over here. As you guys can see, I'm actually trying, but yeah. Now that you know that, in order to get the owlbear figurine, you're actually going to have to do this task at least 20 times. Keep in mind, each time you actually start this task, it's going to take away 6 crystal dice. I know that seems a lot, but also keep in mind that this task takes like 24 hours to complete. So that should give you enough time for you guys to be like a queue event or a queue dungeon or quest. And you could pretty much farm for the crystal dice. See, it requires 6, just like I told you, and you also get these red veins, which aren't really that helpful. I don't know, it depends on how you look at it. And of course, we have to complete it 20 times, like I said before, in order to get the owlbear figurine. I don't know if you guys really want it, and you could also try to get the companions from the store, from the vendor outside in the Protector's Enclave, but pretty much this is it. And I'm also gonna tell you guys how to get more crystal dices. We're gonna open up this, and then we're gonna head on over to the queues. Now Portobello's Trial of Traps actually gives you 1 crystal dice per run, but it also gives you 4 adventuring accreditations, which is really helpful, obviously. But since I'm talking to you guys about how to get crystal dice, pretty much what you guys want to do is you want to end up farming this one, and this is Respin's Marvelous Game. And the reason for this is because whenever I do this, I end up with 3 or 4 crystal dices. So yeah, keep that in mind. Every run that you do this on this queue event, it's gonna give you at least 3 or 4 crystal dices. Now I don't really know about all these other ones. Portobello's Artificer's Workshop. No way, I think this is tied. I think all of them with the Portobello, with the name Portobello at the beginning of the title, I think those just give you adventuring accreditations. So yeah, this is pretty much the only one, Respin's Marvelous Game, which you guys could get crystal dice. Now I'm gonna move on to the adventuring accreditation, because we keep in mind that we actually have to get 400 of these. So the only ones that I really seriously think that are going to give you 4 accreditations, you could also double it, and I'll get to that in a bit, is by doing all of these that have Portobello's name in the front, like the Artificer's Workshop, a Rockfall, strange things at the Borodonin. I can't really talk right now. But yeah, as you guys can see, it actually unlocks on the second week of the Day of the Dungeon Master event. But since we're only on event 1, pretty much the only one we could do right now is the Trial of Traps. I'll show you guys how to complete that one in just a bit. I'll save that for last. And now another way you guys could get adventuring accreditations is pretty simple. Wait, I actually forgot to tell you guys about this. Let me just get it out of the way again. Sorry about that. In order to complete like the sub interns or the boxes inside the campaign for Portobello's campaign, pretty much what you guys have to do is you have to have a blank report card, and the only way you could get that, well, the only way I ever gotten a report card was by beating Portobello's Trial of Traps again. So yeah, that's about it. Another thing you guys could do is if you go back into the campaign or the menu, you could see today's heroic feats of heroism. They got the cues. That's the Cloak Tower, Valendra's Tower, and then you guys could do the contest. Now I don't really know how you could get adventuring accreditation. That's only, I'm thinking if it's only if you participate in it. If you lose or if you get last place, you won't get shit. But if you get first place, I don't really know how many you're gonna get. And then there's obviously the profession task, which is pretty much the easiest things that you could do besides the queue dungeons. Now I haven't really done the cloak towers, but I'm not really gonna be showcasing that in this video. Another thing you guys could do is you could go head on over to the evaluator. He's gonna be over here, and keep in mind that he gives you a repeatable quest, so you could do it every day, and the servers refresh at 3 a.m. and you're gonna want to do the flabbergasted daily evaluation. And as you guys can see, you're actually gonna get 4 adventuring accreditation. Keep in mind that this one, wait, I think it's, no, it's not. Well, the fastest ones that you guys could do is you could pretty much just do this one.
I'd like to see what you can actually do. See that hard? Hit it hard. To do as much damage as you can. Your turn.
See, all we have to do is attack the dummy. These activities are actually pretty easy, and they're also repeatable. Yeah, alright, I'm getting pretty bored. And this one actually takes a minute, so... Well, I think they all take around that mark, except since this one's timed, you'll know you'll actually do it faster. And then there's actually another one that goes by pretty quickly. I'll show you guys that one in a bit. Don't forget to talk to the evaluators.
Not bad.
I don't know, you guys could either take the Shield's Mastery Challenge, or you guys could pretty much do this one. And that's the Escape Mastery Challenge. All you really have to do is you have to do... Alright, it looks like this guy already left, so... We're just gonna go ahead and do it. All you have to do is you have to dodge the projectiles that fall out of nowhere. Oh crap, I actually didn't see the red circle right there. My bad. And it almost hit me again. We're just gonna go ahead and talk to that person that gave us the quest, and then we're gonna go back to the evaluator. And wait, what the hell? Alright, never mind, that wasn't it. My bad, guys. Alright, what we have to do is we actually have to find these dummies, and we gotta destroy 3 of them. Keep in mind that this is actually timed. You got 3 minutes to do all of this. And you also have to collect 10 tokens, which is actually those cube or those dices, as I like to put it. Alright, this is the quest. Sorry, guys. I pretty much fucked up right there. Alright, so we just need to collect 8 more tokens, and then we gotta destroy 1 more dummy. Make sure you look for these high and wide, because they're scattered all over the place. Wow, they're obviously not going to put them all in the same spot. So it's really not that hard, to be honest. If you know your way around the map, then you could beat it in ease. You don't really have to stress out too much about it. Alright, there we go. This is the one that gives us the accreditation, so sorry about the other part. Now, after I turn this in to the evaluator, pretty much I'm just going to tell you guys how you could double your earnings of getting adventuring accreditations from all the dailies and all the dungeons that you do. Because pretty much the standard right now is pretty much they just give you 4.
Well done.
Alright, so if you guys are doing the trials or the traps, you're gonna end up getting this. Now, the reason I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it real quickly, is because this does involve Zen, and you have to go into the Zen market. But as you guys can see, you could actually purchase a companion that's called Waltler. I was gonna say Walter. And anyways, pretty much all he does is he doubles all the adventuring accreditations, and you could also finish up the campaign, Portobello's campaign, faster. So this is pretty much it, and I'll just go ahead and show you guys. See, this is it. He's gonna be finding companions. He actually costs 2,000, so that's like $20. Really not worth it, to be honest with you guys. If you got a lot of time, then this guy isn't really worth it. But if you're one of those type of people that doesn't really have enough time to play Neverwinter, or you can't find yourself playing this game a lot, or simply farming this event, then hey, you could buy it. But yeah, that's about it. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to beat the trials of the traps. We're obviously gonna queue, and as you guys can see, you don't really have to wait that long. Going to quickly invoke. Don't know why she did it again. But oh well.
Series of caves, says. This trial might be more than you can handle.
You guys, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off. I'm still sick, so
Capabilities. We've heard rumors of drow in the vicinity, so be extra careful.
I lose my breath pretty easily,
With that,
and I can't really breathe that right now, so yeah. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're pretty much just gonna kill all the enemies right here. I've seen people, they have a strategy of simply just running past them, but I don't recommend you do that. Because keep in mind, wow, I died already. Alright, what was I saying? Keep in mind that the only way you could get the drops for this event. But that looks like they're all targeting me, so. Alright, there we go. See, notice the Guardian Heckler box that I just got. You could pretty much get the report cards that you need in order to advance in the campaign from killing enemies or bosses. So make sure you don't run past all the enemies. Make sure you try to kill all of them. See, you also get the sack of drill ears and value vaulting ambition. And keep in mind that these are all treasures, so you should just sell them. And also the heckler boxes, they don't really have that much value because it's just the gargoyles. Oh my god, this guy. Keep in mind that it's just gargoyles saying jokes. Keep in mind that you take your time going through these axes right here. You don't really have to go through 2 of them. I don't really know how that one hit me, but whatever. And if you guys want to go through the spikes, I don't really recommend it because it takes out a shit ton of your health. And keep in mind that the spikes also stun you. So. Well, during this event, you could actually only get 1 crystal dice, and that's at the end when you open up the chest.
Tumbling out of the darkness is the biggest dodecahedron you've ever seen.
Alright, looks like these guys aren't really playing.
Into its sides.
Or they're just completely retarded. Now, when you get to this part, watch out for the dice. Keep in mind that there's actually 2 dices, so you just want to wait for 2 of them. And then the other one's actually going to take a little bit longer to spawn. Keep in mind that no matter how fast you are, unless you got a really fast ass moving character, which I don't really recommend you making that type of build. Don't try to outrun the dice because you know that's not really gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to outrun them. And there's these side panels to the left and to the right that you could simply go to. Keep in mind that the left side panels and the right side panels have enemies on them. So be prepared to fight and take a little bit of damage. Now in this dungeon, we're actually going to be facing off a armorized strider. I'll talk to that in a bit. Keep in mind that the dice don't really stop rolling in, so yeah. Make sure you don't stay in the middle pathway for too long when you're fighting these enemies because they could actually do some real damage to you. Oh yeah, and also keep in mind if you do get hit by traps, you're not really going to have to use injury kits because for some reason, since you're a figurine, you can't really get hurt. Don't know what the hell just hit me there, but Alright, now we're gonna be facing off the Drider, as you guys can see in the background over there. I'm trying to get a closer look at it. It's right there in front of me, behind this door. Now there's gonna be some explosive platforms. They look like round buttons, as you guys can see right here on the floor. Once you guys step on them, they're actually gonna blow up, so there's gonna be a little bit of area of effect damage going on. The mistake that a lot of people do is they waste their dailies or their ultimate moves on the boss. They just rush it, and they don't really realize that this is not just a ordinary Drider. It's actually armorized. So what you guys have to do is you have to get her close to one of these, and you have to step on it whenever she's close to them, and then that's gonna lower her armor. That's when you should start fighting her. Cause see, right now they're not even doing any damage. I'll go ahead and hit her. Notice that I barely do any damage. It's just 13 damage. So what you guys have to do is you have to get her close to those exploding buttons on the ground. Pretty much the game hints you at a clue, and it says that the Drider, pretty much she avoids these things right here. Don't know how that one exploded, but whatever. See, they're still rushing her. Yikes. Notice the shield above my character. That's pretty much what we have to do to the Drider boss. But these guys are a bunch of noobs. They don't know what to do. See, they're just attacking her. I just wonder how long I'm gonna have to keep seeing these guys. See, and it looks like the buttons are glitched out because sometimes they do end up blowing up by themselves. Alright, I think this one's closer. See? Alright, it looks like it did get her, so now we're starting to do some real damage. Hopefully you guys don't do the same mistake that these guys are doing. I don't know, it took me until my second try to figure it out, because the first time I was just listening to music and I wasn't really paying too much attention. Right, so it looks like we have to activate another one. Oh, alright, that's cool. So for some reason, once you look at them, they automatically explode. Alright, so it actually has a cooldown, and you're gonna have to constantly... I think that one's closer, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Nope. Never mind. See, there's a couple of people that already know what to do, except for Nightstar and Thrall. These guys just can't seem to figure it out. Sorry about the long wait period. It's because during the day there's more noobs. They don't really know what to do. So it looks like this video is actually going to be longer than I intentionally didn't really want it to be that long to begin with. And I don't really feel like editing out this video. Alright, I think this was close enough for... Please be closer. Oh. Alright. Looks like it was closer. So hopefully we could just finish her off before her shield above her head pretty much heals itself or fixes itself. And it looks like we are going to be able to kill her just in time. And there we go. Now, I don't know why the game doesn't register me picking up anything. Alright, now for this part, you guys want to avoid the barely visible gray squares. And you also want to avoid the... obviously the panels on the floor with the gray coating on it, with the gray squares within the squares. As you guys could actually see them right here. Be careful. Alright, I really can't see one. Alright, looks like I made it through. Also keep in mind, if those traps actually do end up hitting you, you don't really have to use an injury kit, just like I said before. But I'm just stating it as a reminder. Now, a good thing this part isn't really that long, besides those traps over there. Gonna go ahead and wait over here until I fully heal myself. I don't really feel like using a potion. Now this is gonna be the last battle. There's really no tricks to it. All you have to do is you're gonna actually be fighting a beholder, and it's actually chained. So here, I'll shut up right now.
The beholder tries to free itself, and the chains don't look like they'll hold it much longer.
Alright, so pretty much what the narrator said, the beholder is going to be chained up, so it can't really move that much or that quickly. This gives you and the group some time to do some real damage to it. I don't know, a lot of people are saying that if you let the beholder break all the chains, which is 3, as you guys can see, it already broke through 2. They're saying that you could get a great success and all this other crap, but to be honest with you guys, that's not really true. If you wait until the beholder smashes all 3 chains, and if you think that it's gonna give you the treasure chest at the end of the quest is gonna give you a higher reward, then sorry to disappoint you, because none of that is really true. You can get a great success, and that's just a bunch of bullshit and rumors, to be honest with you. That's what I'm trying to say here. So of course we're gonna go ahead and open up the chest. Be careful and don't touch those black broken squares on the ground, because they'll stun you and it gets pretty annoying. And obviously the rewards are going to be the same. You're either going to get a brutal or savage enchantment. See, this one does power and critical strike. The other one does power and armor penetration. You choose the one that you want to use, and you're obviously going to get 1 crystal dice. Again, the trial of traps isn't really the best route to take if you want to get the crystal dices. I suggest you do Raspin's Marvelous Game, because you can end up with 3 or 4. And obviously we're also going to get the 4 adventuring accreditations. So guys, this is about it. I'm gonna... oh yeah, you also want to exit out, duh, obviously. Now all you really want to do is, once you do these, or once you get tired of that, you could do the dailies for the campaign. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do my daily dungeon so I could get some rough astral diamonds. And I'm also gonna go ahead and do the cloak tower, because you know we're gonna get that accreditation. Make sure you check those every day, because they do end up changing. And yeah guys, hopefully this video helped you guys out. This Rise of Soldier from Gaming Spy, and I'm out.